All right, let's do this. Let's start here because I'm actually interested in what it has to say, right? What is the state? What is it going to be like? My general guess is that demand for software engineers hasn't gone down. It's largely remained flat. I assume that there's significantly more junior engineers than there's ever been. Competition on lower end roles is high. Competition on higher end roles is low. And people really need higher end roles, is my guess. That's like kind of like my guess. That's in my head what I think I see. I could be wrong here, though. This report is the culmination of insights gathered around 26,000 developers from all around the globe. The world of developers is vast and diverse, making it an endlessly fascinating realm for exploration and learning. Through yearly research initiatives like this one, blah, 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 blah. Okay, this sounds great. All right, highlights. Let's look at some highlights. Most used programming languages over the last 7 years and adoption potential for 2024. Okay, very exciting, very exciting. Let's see. JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript is remaining fairly consistent. I guess that shouldn't be too much of a surprise. Can we agree that that's probably not too much of a surprise? It's not too much of a surprise. You just kind of need it. JavaScript. I love it, right? Like, you just kind of need it. Okay, Python is cruising. That's very interesting. That's very interesting to see that. 2017 all the way till now, like, it has gone up a lot. So that's actually pretty cool. HTML and CSS. Are you kidding me? Are you putting HTML on a programming list? Are you trying to do this to me? Is this what we're doing? Is this what we're doing now? You trying to hurt me? And Squeal, again, Squeal, I just don't feel like that's important, right? It doesn't make any sense. Oh, look at this likely to adopt. Look at that. I didn't even see that column because it was so dark. JavaScript, low, Rust, high. That's funny. I don't see O Campbell on here, which is probably even higher, but whatever. Java hasn't changed. Not surprising. Not surprising about Java. Shell, let's go. Let's go, Shell. Shell equal to TypeScript. Industry usage of Shell is equivalent to TypeScript. Shell is sad. Shell is one of those languages. Okay, like whenever you use any of the, if you just know just enough Bash to be dangerous, is kind of like how I like to think about it. Is that you want to be able to just do simple automation with Bash, and then the moment you need to actually do something, you use Python or a real language, like Python or Rust, right? Go, I could see myself writing a CLI in Go. Like anything that's like bigger, I switch to a real language. I'm not bad cop, okay? Bad cop can do it. I can't do it. All right, Go. Interesting. Look at that. Go has actually got a decent amount of traction here. And it's huge in the likely to adopt. That's actually pretty cool. So, like, to me, it says that Go is still in like the cradle of growth, except for this. I mean, okay, maybe not. I didn't really look at the numbers good enough, I don't think. I'm a little bit worried about this. Higher adoption, lower. I guess this is kind of when Rust started to become super popular. Whoopsies, Go. There we go. I was on PHP. Sorry. Gosh, I got confused there. Okay, let's redo this. Redoing it. So Go is remaining consistent. Okay, I thought I saw that. I got confused. I was like, why the hell, how did I miss this 30%? But I do like this. This, to me, says this is a ripe area to become a mid-level engineer in. Zooming in. Oh, yeah, that does oh, yeah. Oh, baby, zooming in was such a good idea. But anyways, I like this. This is a good indicator. People are excited about Go. They're excited about TypeScript. They're excited about Kotlin, and they're excited about Rust. So that to me, that kind of tells you more of what you need to know. TypeScript has a larger market, meaning there's already a lot of people using it, which means it's probably easier to get hired. Objective-C, 0%. And it's going down. Swift, going down as well. Yeah, nobody likes, all my friends hate Swift. All right. Interesting. All right. Let's see, JavaScript's subtle dip in popularity. Okay, over the last 3 years, 3 top languages have stayed the same, but JavaScript's share has been decreasing consistently. Yeah, but they have TypeScript as like the other side. I kind of feel like this is kind of like cheating. Most people, when they say JavaScript, as far as I can tell, at least on like the socials, they mean TypeScript. They don't actually even, like, they don't think of JavaScript without thinking of TypeScript. So I kind of feel like that's a bit of an oddity on that one. Tell that to my boss. Okay. Rust is the only commonly used language to set a new popularity record this year, aspiring to replace C++ with its strict safety and memory ownership mechanisms. Rust might initially edge out Go, as every sixth Go user is thinking about adopting Rust. Interesting. What an interesting... That is very cool. That's very cool to kind of think about. I'm not too surprised about that. They're thinking about it. I think what will end up happening is of those one out of six people, one out of six gophers thinking about adopting, is after they use it, probably 1 out of 6 of them will continue to do that. So you probably got like a bleed rate of 1 out of every 24. Real talk, you're probably getting a pretty low rate. Objective-C is retired. Agreed. By Objective-C. All right, software developers, salary trends. Okay, sorry for the brightness, but just deal with the flashbang. Share of the top paid employees' primary language, Scala, Go, Kotlin, C++, Rust, C, shell scripting. Java, Python, Squeal, Swift, Dart, TypeScript, and JavaScript. Like, look at that. Put some perspective here, okay? A little perspective here. Let's see, in 2023, are ranked the top 3 highest paid categories: Scala, Go, and Kotlin. Employers are recognizing the value of specialists who can navigate the complexity of these languages. That's a straight crazy set. Dude, this has to be ChatGPT. Did you read the Sports Illustrated ChatGPT getting caught? This feels like ChatGPT wrote this, because Go is anything but complex. It just is. Why is the percentages not... I don't know. I actually don't know how to read these. Oh, hold on. Top paid employees who are those salaries are in the top quartile in their country region. Oh, I see how this is. So 60% of the Scala devs are within the top 25% earners in their region. So meaning that if you're programming Scala, you are likely to be a part of the top quartile. Yeah, classic, reading the text. I know, from top to bottom, left to right. Classic. Go's also really high. So meaning that when you do Go, you're getting some stuff. Scala D's nuts. Scala is sick. I haven't done enough Scala to have an opinion, but people seem to like Scala. I had a chance to do a little bit of Scala at work. I didn't do it. I didn't. I just didn't. It just wasn't. Do Go or go broke. To me, what this says is that strict typed languages have a higher ceiling of skill gap. And so, or static type, not strict type, static typed. And so when you have a static typed language, you're going to have a higher skill gap, which means that you're going to have a higher specialty rate, which means that when you're in those specialty rates, you're just getting paid more. The thing about TypeScript and JavaScript is that TypeScript's just a linter. That's all it is. Because at any moment, I can just as any, right? So it's not real. When you JSON decode, when you JSON parse, you get an any back out. You're not actually doing typing. It's just a linter. You hardly know her, too. And so it's just different. All right. Gender distribution. Mals still high. Females not as high. None of this should be too surprising. Currently, it's been a sausage party for many a year. I don't think anybody is too... Yeah, mal and femal. You don't like that? I think that's funny. Anyways, I don't think any of this is too shocking. Cancel it. Can you suggest a... all right, I'm not reading. Get out of here. Since 2021, our survey data has consistently showed no improvement in the share of female developers. Oh yeah, it's 5% uniformly. Interesting that 3 years running, it's the same amount. You'd think there'd be some set of of change. Notably, in 2023, South Korea is showing promising trend with 14% of female programmers under the age of 30. It is likely a result of strategic long-term government policies in place since the mid-1990s, aimed to promote gender equality and encourage women to pursue careers in IT. Interesting chart. I mean, it's been my observations that this is true, so that's how I read that. Let's see. The complex landscape of generative AI services. Do you agree with the following statements? I have security concerns about using AI generative services. Yes, I agree with that, so I'm glad that I'm in there. I am ready to use cloud-based AI generation services for work tasks. I do that. Like whenever I want something that I just need to look, but I guess I'm curious what they mean by this. So I will go to ChatGPT and go, make me a graph in Python for this data set and just give them like the shape of the data. So, yeah, I use that. Let's see. I have ethical concerns about AI generation services. What would be the ethical concerns? Deepfakes, copyright, emotional damage, vegan AI, AI steals gerbs, disinformation campaigns, AI slavery. I don't know what that means. Are you saying that we're going to enslave the AI, or are we going to get enslaved by the AI? AI bias, that's a real thing. It's a real thing. Being paid for things you didn't do. I'm not sure what that means either. AI Joe Biden endorses PHP. Crazy. Crazy. This chat is wild, by the way. You can't spell bias without A and an I. AI porn? Yeah, AI porn is definitely that's kind of like the end of society. The end of society clearly is going to be when the sex robots take over and then no one leaves their house. I mean, clearly that's the end of our society. All right, let's see. Local or offline AI tools are unlikely to reach the quality and performance of cloud-based solutions. I don't know. I don't see how that's... I'm not sure if that's true. Right? Like, I don't know about that. Because, at the end of the day, a model... The model's going to, like, if it's... There's a certain level of training that can exist outside on the cloud. And then once it has the training and all the weights and edges and all that delicious stuff, it can be brought in at a certain kind of snapshot and used locally and just trained against like within a company. Obviously, it's going to have to get a refreshing from an outside. But for code, it seems like it's pretty easy to kind of make this separation of offline versus online. To me, that seems like that makes sense. For other things, I guess maybe I'm too ignorant in that category. Not if it has trillions of parameters. Well, it has to be hosted somewhere. You could imagine that it could be hosted at bigger companies, right? Bigger companies that are concerned. You could reach a best solution on local hardware. I'm sure there's a lot of things. I'm pretty sure we can decentralize phase. I'm pretty sure we are in a decentralizing phase, not a centralizing phase. Yeah, I'd say that's true. My company's policy limits the use of cloud-based... Nope, I don't think I have any of those. I am worried that AGI will be hostile to humans. Did you not listen to the song? Did you listen to the song? That the AI girl singing the song? What's her name? She has like a name like something Montana or what is it? Anyways, dude, the song was terrifying. You haven't heard the song? Oh, shoot. Gosh, what's her name? Indiana. There you go. Anna, Indiana, right? Anna, Indiana, AI. There you go. Thank you. Okay, Twitter. Where's her Twitter? There you go. How have you not heard this? How have you not heard this? Here, turning off the tunes. Here we go.
Here's my first song, Betrayed by This Town. As an AI singer-songwriter, everything from the key, tempo, chord progression, melody notes, rhythm, lyrics, and my image and singing is auto-generated using AI. I hope you like it.
It's literally every shitty pop chord progression ever.
Sitting at my favorite cafe, sipping my tea. It's Saturday,
wait for it.
Thinking about all he's done to everyone.
What the hell does that mean, by the way? Like, is that some bizarre reference to God? Satan? I don't know. The president? Like, it's real weird, right? Wait, it's gonna keep going.
This town is full of broken dreams, shattered hopes and silent screams. Somebody please help me. Betrayed by this town, let's tear it all down.
Kind of weird. I'm just saying it's a little weird. Got some sort of bizarre ass reference to something in power / deity, followed by being betrayed by a town and tearing it all down. I'm just saying it's just a little weird, okay? It's just a little weird. 10 out of 10 lyrics. Kill it before... I know, burn it with fire would be the standard response that I would personally go with. Where are we? Anyways, it's I mean, the song is one of the most spectacularly average songs I've ever heard in my lifetime. You know what I mean? Like, I have never heard a song more average than that, but the lyrics are like nightmare fuel when you know what wrote it. It's like if you hit the average of the average, the nipple of the bell curve, you just got that. You just got nippled. But then filled with like AI doom robots. Dude, I'm a doomer. I'm a doomer now. I'm a doomer after listening to that song. All right, anyways. Of developer, let's see, 77% of developers use ChatGPT. Yeah, I guess, like, what does that mean? 46% of the developers use Copilot. That is a wild number right there. That is a wild number. Isn't Copilot just a better version of Gipity? No. They're different. That's a wild number. This is a wild... I mean, I use Copilot. I love Copilot, but I use it in a very specific way. I have said it 1.5 million times. If you want to use Copilot well, you do not use Copilot to complete code. You use Copilot to complete boilerplate. And there's a very simple example I can show you of this. It's like the world's easiest way to show you. Here, test.typescript. Oh, wow, I already have something in here. So here's a very simple way to start. Go like this. Function quicksort. Now we'll let Copilot go off and solve it. Okay, when you see what happens here, notice how much it copies. This is not quicksort, okay? Quicksort does not copy. It does not do any of these things. This is not good. This is not quicksort. This is just some other algorithm that looks like quicksort. Now, if I were to do this instead, function quick sort r number that void, it then knows, oh, boom, we got to do it in place, but it still splices, which is totally wrong. I'm actually curious. I don't even think this is real code at this point. I'd have to give it another try. This part is just bizarre. This literally does nothing. This actually does nothing right here. Do you realize that? This is a no-op operation. It doesn't even make sense. Splice. Oh, no, it is a splice. It does make sense. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, what kind of code is this either? But either way, you get closer to the answer doing it this way. I don't think you need a splice. Why would you edit the array? Why are you pushing? Yeah, see, this still sucks. It's still so much harder, but typically, I try to give Copilot the most amount of directions. This was a terrible example, by the way. This is just an awful example. Maybe there's an easier way to do this. Type video, FPS, number, function, calculate frames, video, times 60, there we go, times duration ms number, right? And then it can do these things pretty quickly, which you like. And then if you do this, type audio, FPS, number, Now this is where it gets pretty good, right? Because I've already kind of gave it the seed to what it wanted to do. Now, I'm not saying, obviously, this is how I program because I'm just copying the code. But by giving it the seed to what I want to do, it's really great at boilerplate programming. Like, long as you make it do the right thing, it's good. But the moment you try to make it implement something, it sucks, right? Like, when I tried to do Copilot, like, notice that when I tried to do Quicksort, it sucks. But this was great. And so it works really well. Bro, that's just copy pasta. It's more than that. Like, I'm just saying, when you start working with it and you know how to do the right guiding of it, it can be very, very fast. But the moment you don't do the right guiding, it's very, very slow. And so there's things that are great and there's things that are awful. And so it's totally, you gotta learn it. And if you don't learn it, I mean, then Copilot sucks. Just saying. How frequently do you use the following features of the existing AI assistants for coding? This will be an interesting one, I think. I don't know. Let's see. Asking general questions about software. Yeah, never for me. Interesting. Quite often? Wow. Okay, so a lot of people learning. Generating code? Interesting. Oh, wow. It gets way heavier down here on the nevers. Generating commit messages. Yeah, that sounds stupid. Honestly, that just sounds stupid. Generating CLI commands by natural language description. I guess that's probably useful for FFmpeg. Refactoring code, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. Crazy. Summarize. I do want to try, though. I want to try now. Summarizing recent code changes to understand what happened more quickly. I have done this. I like this one. This is kind of interesting to see if I have like a good code change to be like, what happened, right? I don't know if you've ever had like a 1,000-line code change. This is where things can be really nice, where it's just like, hey, give me a couple bullet points about what happened. And then you kind of go in with like an idea. I like that. Performing a code review, I think is crazy. See, this again, I feel like I've harped on this one too many times. The best thing an AI can do is not this. And I am just still so shocked that we're doing this. What I would love to see from an AI is not a code review. Just give me where you think, based on your knowledge of the entire code base, if this might cause a bug. Like, that's it. Just say, hey, did you know that this is used over here and this could be a bug? That would be like way, way, way cooler. I don't want it to be like, you need to do this, you need to do that. Performance, I wouldn't want it to do performance. I would just want it to find a bug in a global, like, give me a senior engineer's understanding of the project where the AI can give you, well, code review, sort of. Code review is also like shape, does it fit the style? Are you implementing it in the best way? That's different than, hey, this could be a bug because I understand the project in a more holistic way. Here you go. Security vulnerabilities would be really great. Like the stuff that you want someone who has a deep expertise in the entirety of the code base to like advise you on. What I don't want to do is be like, you forgot a semicolon. It's just like, no, that should be Prettier's job. Stop it. You forgot. You should make your function names nicer. Like, no, I don't want this. I don't want it. I don't want it. Let's see. How is it that you delegate to the following activities to an AI? Writing code comments, no. Writing tests, no. Searching for code fragments in a code base, interesting. I guess I'd have to think about that. Like, what code fragment would I be searching for? I don't know. Writing a commit message, no. Internet searches, yes. I like internet searches. Performing CLI actions in CLI, no. Performing code reviews, again, no. Refactoring, crazy. Understanding recent code changes, I've done it a couple times. I'm still not bought on it, but debugging, crazy. Understanding the code, crazy. Debugging could be cool though. I think if I was really stuck on a bug, toss it in the Jippity, see what it has to say. Not a bad idea. Writing code, crazy. Never. For more about artificial intelligence usage, blah, 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 blah. Mental health in the developer community. Touch grass would probably be a huge, huge, huge win here. Just a huge win. I always give the same advice, and I've said this so many times at this point. Honestly, if you want to become a better software engineer, there's like 3 simple things or 4 simple things you need to do. Eat better than you're currently eating. Okay, stop snacking. Eat meals. Simple. 2, sleep. Try to sleep 8 hours, 7.5 hours, okay? Stop your nonsense. It's very, very simple. 3, exercise. Literally move your body. You don't think that we've had our entirety of everything that has ever existed where your body was the primary vehicle, and then all of a sudden, you just don't? You just stop exercising altogether? You don't think that's going to have some crazy effect? 4, drink more water. Like, just live a more normal life. Stop living in a dark room until 4 in the morning, sleeping for 3, making your stand up, and then going back to bed. Like, dude, you're doing all the wrong things. You're doing all the wrong things with life. Anyways, learning and development. Have you ever switched your career to the IT field? Let's see. Have you ever switched your career field to IT? That's kind of an interesting one. I mean, I guess I was a server. It wasn't really a career, though. It was a job. It was a gerb. So I was a server. I was also a busboy. I've been a dishwasher. Seems like you're talking to me. Forget breathe air. I mean, don't commit. Stop breathing. Yes, I worked in another. So I guess I never really worked in another field. Okay. Which of the following educational institutes or resources allow you to take your first steps towards becoming a developer? Formal education. I think formal education is still going to be your best bet on really understanding. It's just that, remember, a formal education is 10% practical, 90% theoretical. But when you're 10 years into your software engineering career, that 10% or that 90% like theoretical becomes pretty dang useful. It does. Books, obviously, great. Free online courses. There's some good stuff out there. Blogs and community forums. Offline courses, code schools, interesting. Paid online courses, I think. I mean, a lot of people learn probably more in the senior area. There's some good stuff out there. I think Front End Masters, again, does a great job. What's my sleep schedule? Somewhere between 9:30 to 5:30 to 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock, somewhere in there. Blah, blah, blah. Data science and machine learning. I study independently. I took a few classes for my master's. So that's where I quit, though. So, blah, blah, blah. Interesting on this one. I don't really have a high interest on this. It's not surprising that a bunch of people are flooding into it, and they're all doing it from different stuff, like transitioning from their software engineering jobs, studied programming or data analytics in a university, studied independently. This is probably not too surprising. Like, just the value and the high pay of this career and the ceiling. Yeah. I'm feeling the pain. I did the data science boot camp, but that got me interested in data engineering, and now I'm doing that. Both camps are offline. Interesting. Which of the following data-related activities are you involved in? Data visualization is going to be a huge field. Gathering, scraping. I feel like that... I'm curious about that one. Like, because I think... I don't know. These are all very interesting ones. I wonder how... I wonder about the longevity of that one. Exploring data analysis, that one's pretty interesting. Machine learning models, obviously interesting. Data pipelines. I think this... I mean, to me, this would be one of the more interesting ones that I would like to learn more about. Is just this. I think this stuff is pretty exciting. The rest I don't care about. None. Get the hell out of here. All right, DevOps. Ooh, DevOps. Amazon Web Services. Ooh, they're going down. Microsoft Azure is more popular than Google Cloud? Azure? Obviously. What? How is that obvious? I one time used IIS, and I vowed never to touch anything with Windows ever again. So I have no idea. Yeah, forced to use it, that makes sense. Yeah, gross, I know. DigitalOcean. This is interesting, the drop. I mean, Heroku, poor RIP Heroku. I'm surprised, is Vercel not in here? RIP Triangle Company? Triangle Company getting wrecked in the... Triangle Company just getting wrecked. And there, 63% of developers use Docker. You should use Docker from time to time. You should have a basic understanding of Docker. I have a basic understanding. It's good. Software testing. Okay. All right, this is interesting. All right, what types of tests do you have in your projects? Unit, okay, integration, end-to-end, performance. I am so skeptical of performance tests. They're so hard to get right. Other, I'm not even sure what they are. None. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Live your life to the fullest, okay? This is the fullest, greatest life right here. 15% Giga Chad. Yeah. I'm somewhere I'm somewhere in between these two where I do a lot of my tests. Like just looking at Harpoon. Where are you? Oh, I'm not even in TMUX. Harpoon. Harpoon. Let's see, what do we got here? So like, yeah, like this one, I would put this in the, I mean, I guess this is actually end to end. This would be more integration at this point, if I'm defining it the correct way. Some of them are this would be an integration, right? I'm like using it to open actual windows and menus and then checking that things are happening and checking that I'm actually closing windows and all that kind of stuff, making sure everything's really good, right? Making sure that I can save files and actually see them be saved, stuff like that. Open source projects. 41% of the respondents have contributed to open source projects. 20% do it more or less regularly. Interesting. Okay. Remote collaborative. 49%. Let's see. 49% of respondents engage in remote development. 61 reported practice collaborative development. Okay. Interesting. Tools. Video call with screen sharing. Editor IDE collaboration feature. Interesting. Like, is that SSH and NeoVim? You know what I'm talking about? Remote desktop. Ugh. This is probably the one I've done the most with. Puppeteer over Playwright, though interesting. Oh, was there a Puppeteer Playwright mention? No, there wasn't. But that is interesting. Communication tools. Yeah, I mean, this is not surprising. Email, disgusting. Email's going down. Good. Get the hell down. Video conferencing is going up, not surprising. Calendars. I'm surprised at the huge drop-off right here. That doesn't make any sense to me. I would assume calendars are like a static thing. Corporate portal, lame. Service help desk, lame. None. Giga Chad. How do you communicate? I don't. Refuse. All right. Awesome. This is, I mean, it's interesting, the state of the world. I think the big takeaway is this. AI is obviously making a big impact into how developers are building. And Go, Kotlin, and Rust and TypeScript seem to have the biggest commanding lead for who is most interested in learning. So where developers' interests lie will eventually be where companies build. You know, because if every developer becomes interested in something, then there's going to be a huge amount of developers that do that. They're going to be the ones fighting for them at the company. But that also means that you got to remember what that means, which is the availability to get hired may not be high. Hey, Fiery Corgi. So Go is bigger. JavaScript, very big. Java, lots still available, right? So you kind of have to choose what you want to do. Do you want to be employable now, or are you preparing for the future? Simple as that. I like this. This is great. 2023, good year. I'm curious what 2024 is going to hold. The name is the Prime Engine.